Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel, The Deltas. If you like our videos, then please like, comment and subscribe our channel. My name is Shivangini and I'll be explaining about the design of training in today's lecture. So the first question comes that what is design of training? Before that, I'll be explaining that what is training. So, training can play a huge role when organizations strategize on creating development opportunities for their employees. Right employee training at the right time provides employers big return on investment. It helps employers get increased productivity, commitment, knowledge, and loyalty from their workforce. Now moving on to the aspect that what is design of training. So design of training is a process of identifying the set of specifications that is used in the development phase for creating training modules. Design of training creates guidelines that need to be followed when creating the content, delivery process and materials to be used for training. The next slide explains about the questions which arises in everyone's mind, that why is training needed, who will be trained, what are the training objectives, what methods will be used, when and where training will take place. So the overall aim of training design is to develop new training and educational courses and lessons for existing employees. Training design roots out the gaps in training and fills them with new material for better performance. It will also allow teams to grow their skills rather than becoming static in their roles. The next question comes is that who will be trained? So definitely the employees who are working in the organization, they need to be trained. The next question comes is what are the training objectives? So this I'll be covering in the upcoming slides. Next is what methods will be used. So we have different methods of training, that is e-learning, hands-on training method, the group discussion and activities approach, the lectures, the simulation employee training or the instructor-led training. And the last question arises is that when and where training will take place. So training will basically take place when there are no changes coming in the employees, and these training can take place at the workplace using dedicated training rooms or workstations. Now talking about the training objectives. So training objectives, the term training objectives refers to all the objectives that are developed for the training program. There are generally 4 types of training objectives. The first one is reaction, the second is learning, third is transfer, and fourth is organizational outcome. Now I'll be explaining one by one each of them. So talking about the reaction objectives, it refers to the objectives set for how trainees should feel about the training and their learning environment. Whereas learning objectives, these describe the knowledge, skill and attitudes that trainees are expected to acquire throughout the training program and the ways that learning will be demonstrated. Third one is transfer. So transfer of training objectives describes the changes in the job behavior that are expected to occur as a result of transferring the knowledge, skills and attitudes gained in training to the trainee's job. And the last one is organizational outcome objectives. So these describe the outcomes that the organization can expect from the changes in the trainee's job behavior as a result of the learning. Now moving on to the good objective components. So the training need analysis is a critical part of determining what the objectives of training should be. Although the content of the various types of objectives differs, the structure and process of developing good objective statements is the same. Objectives are statements about what is expected to be accomplished. So a good objective has 3 components. The first one is desired outcome, So a desired outcome means that what should be expected to occur in the training. The second one is conditions. So under what conditions is the outcome expected to occur? And the last one is standards. This means that what criteria signify that the outcome is acceptable or not. Now moving on to the formula for writing the objective. The outcome specifies the type of behavior, the condition state where, when, and what tools will be used, and standards describe the criteria for judging the adequacy of the behavior. Remember that a learning objective should state clearly what the result of the training will be. Now talking about the purpose statement which is used. So at times you will need to communicate only a short statement of what the training is intended to accomplish. This is called a purpose statement. So the purpose statement is used to synthesize the individual training objectives into one clear statement regarding what the training will be all about. So the purpose statement is basically explaining that what is the motive of the training, that is what is the aim of the training. This statement is of a single clear statement which will identify or which will summarize the training objectives, and this will totally explain that what the training will be about. Now moving on to why use training objectives. The first component is that it saves time and money. So companies may think that objectives are an unnecessary planning step that wastes time. But in actuality, objectives save money and time as well. Writing down your training objectives ahead of implementation will give your goal a structure. Plus, it will further define what your goal is and prove you have created the correct one for your learning management system. The next point is it helps to design training materials. So when you know what the objectives are, you can clearly define what materials are needed for your employees. For example, do you need a blended learning environment, or will your training materials be assigned by department, individual or level at the company? Or what features does your learning management system need to have? Third point is let employees know what they will be learning. So sharing your objectives with your employees will let them know why you think your LMS is important. You want motivated employees who take training seriously and think their time away from their job is being well spent. The last point is gives administrators training roadmaps. So these objectives will help your program administrators implement the learning. When they know why they are teaching the courses or lessons, it will definitely strengthen their ability to deliver these in an effective way. Now moving on to the design theory. So the first theory is elaboration theory, the theory of elaboration. So elaboration theory is a micro theory of design. It is completely based on a holistic alternative to the part or whole sequencing that is usually followed in training. This holistic approach is more meaningful and motivational for learners because from the start they see and get to practice the complete task. The next approach is Gagne-Briggs model and social learning theory. So the Gagne-Briggs model of instructional design is applicable to cognitive, behavioral and attitudinal learning. It provides a set of procedures to follow for each instructional event to enhance learning. The model identifies 9 events of instruction which are tied to social learning theory. That's it for today. The remaining topics I'll be completing or covering in the upcoming lectures. Thank you.